Hi, my name is Tina. I'm in my mid-50s.
Hi, my name is Claire Siegel and I'm from the United States of America and I'm 17 years old.
Hi, my name is Yehuda Bessner. I am 17 years old.
Growing up, what did you think about the advertising for food?
It was always very tempting for me. I loved watching them. It was like, I guess, food porn back then, and it was really enticing and you really did want to buy it. You really did want to go out and eat it. There's a lot more advertising for healthy food nowadays, and in the past, I'd say 20 years or 15 years. I don't see anything different. It doesn't make a difference to me, and I would read the nutrition value pack on the back before I decide.
When I see ads talking about this organic, that 100% natural, first of all, it's I don't really care. Like non-GMO, GMO type stuff, it's all the same to me. I just go for whatever I like, and sometimes they're not even saying the truth in their advertising. It's like always like star and there's a catch to everything.
When they're talking about natural food, food is generally natural, so it's just a marketing ploy, I find. As a consumer and as a person who cooks or feeds a family, will know what is healthy and what isn't just by reading the nutrition facts on the back of the package or just cooking themselves.
It says healthier choice, it doesn't mean that it's healthy.
Healthier choice in what?
It just means that it might have some more benefits. For example, whole wheat pasta versus regular pasta. You're probably actually getting more calories in there, but then again, it's not all processed stuff, it's whole wheat. So they're not lying that it's healthier, but it's still not healthy. So people will think, oh yeah, I'm eating something that's healthy. I'm like a good person. I like to have pasta all day, but then again, they're not healthy people for eating smart pasta. I don't agree with the phrase "this is natural," so it must be good for you, because not everything natural is good for you. For example, I'm pretty sure tobacco is something natural. If you take a bunch of that stuff, I'm pretty sure it's nicotine that's just bad for your lungs and it's very addictive. Or most things you eat is going to be natural and it's not always good for you.
Seen healthy marketing for years. I believe that it is unethical when products are marketed as 100% natural when they're not.
What about products that are like marketed like diet popcorn? Like basically just less corn in the package.
I've never seen diet popcorn before.
They're just trying to make money, but like, is this ethical?
It's not ethical. And no, it's not diet because it's probably just popcorn without oil. It's probably just air pop popcorn. And it's not really fair to the consumer. But there are people who think, oh wow, diet.
But what do you think about such a thing?
It's garbage. I've never heard of diet water, first of all. Diet water it's not a thing. Water is, you can't, what are you gonna diet out of water?
So what do you think about companies that like market these things?
They're liars. They're probably illegal. Added vitamins doesn't mean natural. A lot of people know that diet means it's worse for you. They add stuff to it that makes it worse than like the normal one.
When things are called diet just to make money, and the only real things that are diet are things that don't have sugar in them. So if it's diet, then it's like just diet and there's like 30% less fat, but 30% isn't actually that much, so it's not really a diet, and people are going to eat that and think that like, okay, I'm going to eat this diet thing and automatically I'll lose weight, but then they don't realize that maybe I have to change my whole lifestyle. It's not just about this one food that I eat, like, oh, it's diet chocolate somehow, and they replace half of it with like aspartame instead of sugar in the chocolate, and they go, oh, okay, I should eat a ton of the chocolate and I'll be skinny eventually. Some stupid people think that. I do know about this whole balanced breakfast thing. When they talk about Nutella being part of a healthy breakfast, they really don't stress that part. They just stress Nutella, so people are like, okay, I'll have Nutella on my bread and I'll be good for the day, and that's actually a healthy start of my day, but really it's literally just chocolate on a piece of bread, which is a bunch of carbs. So unless you're having like half a piece of toast with like a tablespoon of Nutella and the rest of your meal is like proteinous and like maybe vegetables even, and you're not getting anything out of your breakfast. And no, I didn't hear about the lawsuit, so.
No, the lawsuit basically like someone sued them because they're advertising towards people saying that it's part of a healthy breakfast, and then people actually believed it. And they were feeding it to their kids and it wasn't healthy. Nutella that says it can be part of a balanced breakfast.
Oh, because it's made with milk and nuts? Well, to begin with, Nutella isn't exactly the most healthy item to eat, but it's a really yummy item. There should be a guideline for every advertising company when it comes to food. There should be packaging guidelines. Like for example, here in Quebec, they used to say light cream cheese, but what it really was there was air and milk whipped into it, which made it light, but it really wasn't as in lighter calories because you would use more type of thing. But there are guidelines. I'm sure there are here in Quebec. You have to look at that.
Okay, there's consumers' rights and there's responsibilities that the seller has to have. Meaning they can't. A consumer right is that they get what it was advertised. So when a seller puts something out, they can't lie, or else the consumer could literally get a whole refund. That's just consumers' rights. At least in Quebec, it's like that. So what I think about the lawsuit is that that's Nutella's fault 100% because they don't advertise it well enough. They literally show like one of the commercials is like some like kids eating like Nutella and bread and they're like super like amazing in school or something. So obviously I'm gonna buy that.
So I really feel that people have to get a little bit more in the know of what's going on out there about food instead of taking for granted what people are telling them. I mean, advertising. And Nutella is generally it's not a healthy thing, but people think it is, and it really isn't.
So what do you think about misleading advertisements such as that? Do you think companies should be allowed to market their products as if they're good for you?
No, companies should not be allowed to market their products as good for you when in fact they are bad for you or not good for you and simply neutral.
Well, I think companies should be able to market however they can, just don't be illegal about it. They be honest with all your advertisements. If you're gonna say it's good, it's part of a healthy breakfast, then explain what a healthy breakfast. Like sometimes they'll show like in a commercial they'll have like a glass of orange juice with like half piece of toast or whole wheat toast or something. So yeah, so if they do that, then it's like it's fine. But you can't just stress your thing saying this is healthy, and obviously that's not right. Just be legal about it and be honest.
How important are food labels to your buying decisions?
Some, not much.
Food labels like natural and organic do affect my decision when shopping at the grocery store.
Labels on food matters. It's kind of like when you get a book and you're like, okay, I kind of like this cover, so the book must be good. If it has a bad cover, like I know you're not supposed to judge a book by cover, but like most people do anyway. And when the book cover is bad, you're not gonna read that book. You're not gonna like look into it. So if you have a food that's like just a white package that says food on it, you're not gonna buy that. That has to be like something like let's say Wacky Mac has the guy with thingies. You have to have like something catchy on it, or like a catchy phrase. I can't think of anything right now, but yeah, and the nutrition facts also matter because some people do care about their diet and it's important if it's there. If not, you're kind of like screwing them over.
If you saw like a package of bread, like regular bread, and it had like a picture of carrots and a loaf of bread, and it said a good source of vegetables, what would that make you think?
It's a carrot bread.
But if it says like 100% vegetables or a good source of vegetables,
I would read the ingredients to see what they're talking about. Because it could be dehydrated vegetables, it could be grated carrot in the bread, I don't know.
If I saw carrots on a loaf of bread, I would avoid that bread because that's weird. I wouldn't trust it, no.
Put something on the cover, on the box of food, and they're just saying it's like a source of vegetable. They're obviously lying if it's a piece of bread. Like yes, maybe they have like 1 gram of protein or somehow in their bread. Like it's still like it's 100% false advertising. That's what I feel.
what about like 100% fruit bar?
No sugar?
It says no sugar added.
I would read the ingredients again.
So it's like candy masquerading as a fruit, but it's still candy because no matter what, even if there's 3 servings of fruit, like the health benefits, the nutritional value is changed by the processing.
100% fruit bars don't mean anything. It's a fruit bar. It's not the same as your daily serving of fruit.
Yeah.
So, because you'll need more servings of it, so they should be allowed to have this type of false advertisement.
I think any type of false advertisement isn't right. If you say like this fruit snack is not a candy, and it's actually just fruits like in this bar, and it's like somehow has a ton of sugar in it. It's obviously not all like they're literally just 100% lying. There's no way. I think it's never okay to false advertise because you don't know who you're advertising to. Like maybe it's the first time buying food and they go, okay, this must be good. Like it's not always gonna be people coming back and eating the same food every time. So like you can't ever false advertise. It's illegal to me. It should be.
It's sometimes okay for food companies to market their goods, their products, as your like equivalent to your daily serving of fruit because of the processing, because it's not equal. But like if they put more fruit in, so it's equal to, like if they put in 5 apples and process it so it's equal to 3 apples after processing, then it's kind of okay. If you need 3 apples a day.
What has more of effect on you? Advertising, such as like advertising on television or in a magazine or whatever, or the actual food labels?
I first grabbed, like, for example, an item in a magazine might catch my interest, and then I'll go see it in a store and I'll read the label. So, the label.
The label's more important to you?
Both of them are, actually, because one would entice me to go look at it. Otherwise, I wouldn't look at the product.
You wouldn't
If I
look
saw-
at it if you just saw it on the shelf.
No. If I was reading a magazine and it grabbed me, I would go into a store and look.
I think that advertising with internet or TV is more important because you're not going to go in the store and say, like, I'm looking for this today because I'm looking for that. Because that's what I want. This is, you know, on TV, it's like, oh, Nutella has all this stuff. I'm going to go to the store like, oh, Nutella's cheap today, so I might as well buy it. And also I heard on commercials, it's good. It kind of, the commercials give you an excuse to buy it, almost. That's what I feel about it. So, like, it's both, but the commercials just give you an excuse. My personal decision is really just by going whatever's cheaper. So it's not really commercials. Like, I don't really care.
I'm more likely to believe the label on the food product than the advertisements.
Do you know there's less regulation on the food labels than there are on the advertising?
Really? Because more people pay attention to the advertisements than they do to the food label. Because they have to be honest on the food label.
Why?
Advertisers aren't legit. They're changing it next year, actually. I saw
Why?
news. Like, February. Like, they're changing the serving sizes, and they're making the, like, nutrition facts bigger, so it's more noticeable. So people may pay more attention to it.
There's less regulations on the actual labels of the food.
Oh, there should be more. There should be more regulations on the labeling of food that people can physically look at and read versus the advertising.
How do you feel about cartoon characters to get kids hooked on junk food?
No, I don't agree with it.
Oh, they do that a lot. Using cartoon characters to get kids hooked on junk food, it's like their mascot. It's Dora too.
They do.
I'm getting it now. Not morally right to use cartoon characters on, like, junk food, but it's a good marketing strategy. If they're not allowed, then they might not get as much of their products sold, so then it's going to be a decrease in profit, so then they'll get out of business, and then a lot of people are going to be going out of, like, losing jobs, so I don't know.
I don't really care if kids have junk food, to be honest, because they're kids. They don't have to worry about the diet. Like, I know it's important to have a healthy diet, but as kids, come on, let them eat, let them be kids. So if they advertise the cartoon just to attract them, that's fine, I feel like. I don't really care.
But they're hooking the kids on the junk food when they're young, and then they become addicted, and that's what it's part of the cause of obesity.
I don't know if that's proven, but I don't think that's true. He isn't gonna be losing weight when he's a kid. If even like he's not gonna, like, I know it's important to have a healthy diet. I'm pretty sure that's better if the kid figures it out for himself. Have a healthy diet, not have it forced upon him by their parents. If the kid wants the junk food, give him the junk food. In moderation, that's what you can control. But give him the junk food if he wants it, or she wants it.
As a kid, did you feel disproportionately marketed towards in terms of unhealthy food?
Sometimes.
I wasn't allowed to eat junk food as a kid. See more
No.
junk food ads in the news now than I did as a kid before. I do believe that there are more junk food, snacks, and stuff targeted towards kids than for adults.
As a kid, I didn't know the difference between healthy or not healthy food, just food. Well, obviously there's more advertisement towards kids because adults know their diet's better. They're not going to buy the junk food. It's easier to get kids' attention, whereas minds are more easily influenced by these things.
And as an adult, having grown up with less ads surrounding you, do you you're not as immune to it as we are? See the difference of how many ads there are online now?
I felt that when I was growing up, because I was had television, there were more ads. That way, on computer, you can ignore them. At least I do. So I don't find there's much of an effect. I don't really watch television much, so I don't really see ads, and I don't really pay attention to them. Thank God for PVR, you can fast forward, so I don't notice anything really.
I do find that I'm kind of immune to all the advertisements that are on the internet and on social media and on TV because I've kind of grown up with it, so it's just like there. Just there.
You don't really pay attention to ads at all anymore on the internet. Like on TV, yeah, because it's just there. So you kind of watch them anyway. Like sometimes, that's kind of interesting. But usually I just use ad block even from using Chrome, whatever.
Did you ever feel personally victimized by an ad, forcing you to like and purchase their products? Like, example, highly targeted advertisements based on your search history.
No.
Those
You have
ads,
a choice.
do you know those ads that are very, very specific, targeted towards what you search online?
Oh, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
That's annoying.
Do you think that's ethically correct?
it really makes me nervous. They're like Big Brother, but I'd rather it not be there.
Yes, I sometimes do feel extremely victimized by highly targeted advertisements.
I never feel targeted from ads because I think why would I feel targeted? I don't understand. It's for so many people. Actually, when I see those ads, it kind of helps me find the thing I'm looking for sometimes. Because like, let's say I'm looking for like a hockey jersey. It's not food. Let's say I'm looking for a hockey jersey, and I'm on Chrome or any browser, and it's like, it has a bunch of jerseys. I'm like, oh, like that's a good idea for jerseys. So I'll click on that link and I'll find a good price. I like that actually.
Did you know about there's companies like Oreo that are sponsoring elementary schools, and there's like Oreo counting book or an Oreo math book.
Really?
Yeah. How do you feel about junk food invading elementary schools?
Not a good idea.
But when schools are lacking funds and the government is cutting down on like funding schools, like
Well, this is how they're getting their funding?
yes, they're getting their funding from junk food companies trying to force these products into your kids' hands.
It's a pity they don't do it with farmers. And the carrots and veggies.
My public school in the States is losing funding. So I feel like junk food companies like Oreos and Coca-Cola might start sponsoring more schools, like maybe those similar to mine, to help them get funds.
I don't think that's a problem with junk food companies are sponsoring schools. Like again, they're if it's any like, if you're a kid, it's fine to have some Oreos, whatever the junk food is. And if you're older, if they're like even in high school or college, you should know better. So like you're not gonna, if it has Oreo in your textbook, like at that age you're able to differentiate between what's healthy and what's not. So you're not gonna have 30 Oreos. As a young kid, it's fine to have some junk food.
Let's say there's an ad of like a woman and it says like, get the perfect beach body.
Really, really muscular body like this, where it's like the muscles are like 3 feet high.
I think ads like that shouldn't even exist. But women, those ads just should not be out there. Not necessarily because of the woman in the ad. Those ads should not be out there. Because there's no such thing as a perfect beach body.
I did not believe it was okay to use beach bodies or muscular bodies with muscles that are like 2 feet high to promote muscle supplements or food and dieting supplements and vitamins. If a woman is willing to put her body on display to use it to promote something, I mean, it depends on what like you're promoting. Like if you're promoting like being positive about your body like Aerie is, and where they don't Photoshop people, then it's okay. But if you're using it to like promote like food or like certain like dieting techniques, then it's not.
I think objectifying women in commercials actually helps with the business, so I don't think there's a problem with it if they want to make money. Like again, if the women are consensual to be in the ad, they're getting paid for it. Like it's not a big deal if they're gonna make money.
But it promotes like unrealistic body expectations.
Oh, the unrealistic body expectations, and that that way of looking at it, like maybe they should use like not actual actors. Like they should just take people and see what they think about the thing. But if they're trying to advertise it, like I know like Old Spice, for example, they use that really ripped guy. Like that could work or stuff like that.
Okay to use unethical tactics to promote an ethical message?
No?
It's never okay, or is it okay sometimes?
No.
It's never okay.
They're okay.
So how do you feel about PETA doing this?
I don't like it.
And do you think like they should stop? Like
They should, yeah.
do you think it's okay that they have ethical in their name?
PETA's a little much sometimes, but they mean well.
Do they really though?
Sometimes.
They're a corporation after all.
They are, you're right, but
Like for example, oppressing women to gain support against oppression of animals. How do you feel about that?
I do not believe that it is ethical to use unethical tactics to promote an ethical message, such as using objectification of women.
I've never seen in the mainstream advertisements using unethical methods to advertise. If it's legal, that's legal.
You don't think that they should make it illegal to use unethical tactics?
If it works to sell their product, it doesn't make a difference.
How do you feel about advertising cigarettes? Is that ethically okay?
no, it's not ethically okay, and it's been banned.
But what about, how do you feel like they used to use?
I know they did, and they used to put like women dressed provocatively or really rugged-looking guys. No, it wasn't right. It really wasn't. I mean, I can show you a magazine now. I have some from the 80s. I have this magazine, Bon Appetit, from 1988. It's a Thanksgiving edition. And this is an ad for Benson and Hedges. Benson and Hedges cigarettes. And it's showing very young girls, I guess in their early 20s or late teens. It looks like they're having a rip-roaring good time playing pool, which they probably are, but they're making it that it's more fun to smoke, which I find really unethical, especially using women.
So advertising things like that aren't good for you, is it okay for them to advertise it and not tell you that it's bad for you?
Well, in this case, they had a Surgeon's General warning, but they really should not. First of all, they shouldn't be advertising, which they stopped, I think, around 1990, just 2 years after this. I'm not sure, but they really shouldn't be advertising. And at the time, I guess their way of dealing with it was by putting the Surgeon General warning.
But how does this compare to like advertising junk food, for example, which is still legal?
Junk food, yeah, it is. They should have really not a warning, but
Well, there are junk foods that literally can kill you.
yeah, there are.
Do you think they should have a warning too?
They should somehow. I mean, eventually we'll get down to it, but it's not going to happen right now.
I've seen cigarette advertisements where it's like, come smoke, smoking kills. And like, I don't know, it's really weird.
But
I don't think you can compare advertising cigarettes to advertising junk food. Because one can like directly kill you or cause cancer, and the other one not so much. It's a different level of bad.
I think advertising cigarettes is 100% wrong. Like, if anything, there should be, I don't know if there are, but there should be more ads. There should be a ratio of at least like 5-to-1 of ads against smoking and to those about smoking. For the, like, it's just that, like, by promoting, yes, the government's making money and giving back to us in, like, by paying those taxes.
Advertising cigarettes is illegal now.
It's illegal?
Yeah.
Oh, if it's illegal, then obviously keep it that way.
Because cigarettes are bad for you, but do you know that junk food is also really bad for you? So do you think advertising cigarettes compares to advertising junk food?
Okay, but eating junk food doesn't kill you at a young... Like, eating junk food is you can't get addicted to eating junk food. I don't think there's anything proven.
Yes, you could, because they put addicting substances into it.
That's not proven.
Yes, it is.
Smoking cigarettes is something lethal. It could literally kill you. The nicotine inside degrades your lungs over whatever. After one smoke even, you'll have that film over your lung. So that's bad for you. Food, it's junk food as a kid, first of all. It's not a problem to eat junk food, I feel. Like, when they're older, they're like, okay, I should probably stop. And if they don't, it's not the food's fault. It's the person's fault.
But, like, let's say they're advertising junk food to... Because sometimes junk food's cheaper, and they're advertising to, like, low-income...
I know, and that's what they could afford, and that's what they end up eating, and they end up having all kinds of health issues. That's why I wish that veggies and fruits were so much cheaper than, a bag of Doritos and a can of Coke.
Did you know that, like, when they advertise, like, strawberries and stuff, they'll, like, put lipstick on them? Or, to advertise cereal, they'll put, like, glue in them?
Yeah.
Do you think that's ethically okay?
Instead.
I'm aware of that, but I don't think about it.
But doesn't that compare sort of to, like, false body expectations? It's like false
body out when you're using... They're just trying to make the milk look really good, and they want the strawberries to look really red.
But is that okay? Because that's not what they actually look like. It's giving false expectations. It's like...
But it makes the photo look amazing, don't you think?
Yeah, it makes the photo look amazing, but...
I think they use wax to make ice cream, because, like, if you think about it, like a really... Not really wax, but a plastic.
Or mashed potatoes.
Or mashed potato. That's right, mashed potatoes for vanilla ice cream. And they color it for different colors, and they stud nuts in it. But the reason why they do that is because of the lighting. And
yes, for some of them.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So you don't think that...
But if
like
it's an advertisement, the whole point of an advertisement is to sell a product, and you want a product to be at its best if you're going to sell it. So you want your strawberries to look really bright red. So of course they're going to color them red with lipstick, or they're going to use... you can't really photograph ice cream because it'll melt under all the lights, but you just don't know. It's not false advertising. Because you're going to go out and buy your own strawberries, and you're going to check them, and you're not going to always get the most perfect red strawberry, but you know that.
So you don't think it's unethical at all?
Well, if you compare it to the most perfect beach body versus the most perfect strawberry, then maybe. No.
Wait, it's like promoting a body image that's impossible to reach. By, like, having, like, a strawberry that looks so perfect that you can't actually have. So, do you agree with that?
I do not agree that it is okay to put lipstick on strawberries or mashed potatoes instead of ice cream. Because it is false advertisement, which should be illegal. Because you are advertising something that is impossible to have, or not the same at all.
They use fake steam to make something look more appealing or hot when they're advertising food. So do you think that that's considered false advertisement?
Once again, it's like when you put fake things in order to enhance the way something looks in a commercial or an advertisement, it's not really a problem. It's kind of just using like filters on Instagram just to make yourself look better for the picture. It's not a problem. Like, people know what the fruit is. If it's strawberries, whatever, though, it's just a way to, like, subconsciously you want them more, but you know better. Well, you know what a strawberry is. Strawberry is a strawberry. You're buying, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a big deal if you put a filter on it. Or not actually filtered, they put some sort of enhancement on it.
You don't think it's considered false advertisement?
No, because you know what the product is.
But it's like promoting, it's showing like, but it's showing an unrealistic expectation of it.
It's unrealistic, but if you buy it, you'll know what you're getting, you won't buy it again. If you know what it is, you know what it is.
Any last words?
I feel so stupid.
Do you have anything else to add on this topic?
No, I don't really have anything else.
I have nothing else to add. Goodbye.
Thanks. But
No. No, I do not.
do not what?
No.
What?
No. Well, I don't know what I'm saying no to.
Okay.
Yes. Can't do it.
Yeah, you could. How important? I know you don't necessarily shop for food yourself, but when you are at a grocery store, okay, maybe you do. Can you try to look more in the lens? In general.
Are there a
100%.
lot more questions?
Oh man.
I sometimes feel very personally victimized by this.
You don't see that?
No.
Do you go shopping for food ever?
I do.
Do you watch TV? Do you go on the internet? Do you see advertisements? Like, do you feel like it's sort of like...
That are forcing me to buy their products. I feel very forced. Sometimes.
Personal examples, because we don't have this in Canada. Go, I need this.
You were once a PETA supporter.
Well, Canada's more sketchy than the US.
Okay, Yehuda, reminder, advertising cigarettes compared to junk food, go. Yehuda, it's recording, you're wasting my memory card storage.
I don't know, I'm not good at these answers.
Well, it's your opinion.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How do you feel about that?
That's good.
That's good?
That there's regulations more on the advertising than there is on the labels. Oh, please don't put that in.
Have you ever seen, have you noticed a lot,
If something's advertised, has something that's, wait.
do you see a difference of
For marketing companies to
Because that's what I can't speak. Are you going to edit this?
Have you ever had a dream that you could do?
do I have permission to use your voice and image in my project?
No.
No, Yehuda is serious, this is for legal purposes, you can't see me.
Sure.